These are the 4 hardcore towers, which are very powerful. They all give very high DPS and crowd control capabilities. This video will go through how worth it they are to get and what order you should get them in, as hardcore is a pain to grind out. These towers get changed quite a lot, so some of the things in this video may change. Starting off is the Brawler, being a melee tower with 2 Abelites, knockback and reposition, giving Brawler good support and full map range. These 2 abilities make Brawler very good at support, allowing it to catch leaks and keep enemies at the front whilst still doing a good amount of DPS. On top of all this, it has full stun resistance. Even better, this is the cheapest hardcore tower, only costing 1.25k gems, and so is a good option to be your first hardcore tower. The one issue is that it doesn't have hidden detection, meaning that it needs help in early game. Despite this, it easily clears early fallen due to its high damage, perfectly killing the enemies. Next up is the recently buffed Necromancer. This is a spawner tower spawning in gravestones after doing set damage. These graves then turn into skeletons after using its ability. The main issue with this tower is that it feels quite weak before max level, which is 44k only for the upgrade. In the early levels, the Necromancer has Pierce, but this isn't really noticeable and only contributes to its early weakness. At max level, however, it has 3 beams that target onto different enemies, allowing for more crowd control capabilities in the tower. It also buffs the grave, significantly upgrading all of the skeletons and adding one with 3.5k health. The 3 beams can also combine into one and triple the single target DPS. Overall, the Necromancer doesn't really feel like it fits with the other 3 gem towers. This is because it was originally supposed to be an event tower, and so they are having trouble buffing it. I think it's a good idea to get this tower as your last hardcore tower, as its uses, compared to the other ones, is limited. It's also very close in price to Excel, only being 1 hardcore victory difference. Now we have the OG Phaser, Accelerator. It's a very solid DPS tower, attacking with a laser in a burst, locking onto an enemy until it dies. People don't really use this anymore, due to things like NG and Pursuit kinda outclassing it with things like more range and stun immunity. I still think this tower is very good and is overhated. It's definitely the best option for the first hardcore tower, as it doesn't take too long to grind for and is very easy to use because it doesn't have any silly gimmicks. Last but not least is the Engineer, being the most expensive hardcore tower. Its main DPS only hits around 80, but it constructs sentries on the ground, giving it around 300 to 400 DPS, meaning it is very powerful and can be used throughout the match. I don't really like it because it's supposed to cover all areas needed, but seems to mostly over DPS over anything else, as its flying detection is straight cheeks and its hidden only gets good at level 5, which is like 15k. This should be the last hardcore tower you get because it's annoying as hell to use for most things, as it's quite inconsistent, and personally, Pursuit or Excel is easier and better despite having slightly lower DPS. The DPS doesn't really make up for the fact that it is annoying to use, bad for early game, bad for flying, and takes a million years to grind for, whereas Pursuit has full map range and all detection. Overall, the hardcore towers are a lot to grind for and can be difficult to choose what to get, so this is the order you should get them in: EXL, Brawler, Necromancer and Engineer. If you want more low quality content like this, all you need to do is subscribe.